Welcome back. It's Austin, and
It's Sean.
yeah, and it's your best friends.
It is indeed your best friends. Back at it again on episode 34. Is that right?
Glad to be back, man. Glad to be back.
Yeah,
Last episode was an absolute banger. I enjoyed the shit out of it. So if you haven't seen it, I would
definitely
suggest that
go check it
you
out.
go check it out. Yeah.
It's one of our longer ones. Historically our longer ones have been with guests, but that last one was like, close to an hour and a half.
We
That
were
was
just
fun.
going.
Yeah, I had a good time.
It was really fun. There's some gems in there too. I always
Yeah.
listen back just to think about what we can do better and, you know, just critique ourselves.
Yeah.
It was a good one. It
It
was a
was a
really
good
good
one.
one.
It was a good one.
So
It was fun.
I enjoyed it a
There's
lot.
a correlation there, I think.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Yes.
How was your
Because I hated every other episode we've done
Oh,
together. No, I'm
hell
just
yeah.
kidding.
Nice.
um what'd you say? How have I been? Is that what you asked?
I didn't say that, but how have you been?
What'd you
I said,
say?
how was your week? I said, how was your week?
Okay. My week's good. And I've been good.
Nice. I love to
Yeah.
hear it.
I say it every week, but pretty much it is accurate. Same old, just going through it. I saw you yesterday.
You feel like you're in the rat race?
Do I feel like I'm in the rat race? In a way. In a different way than I would have defined the rat race in the past, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like working from home, which is not what I thought I would be doing at age 23, but we're here.
But it has
Yeah.
its challenges.
It does have its challenges.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
like everyone kind of, glorifies it. And I feel like people think like, oh, he's got it so easy. There are definitely challenges to working from home.
you need to be really
You need
disciplined to
a
work from
self-starter.
home. Yeah, you need like it's easy to fall into bad habits when you work from home, and being aware of when that happens is, I mean, that's something that you got to do. And start to realize like there were multiple days where I was just like inside like all day, even when like the weather was nice, and it was like today I was just like I need to go outside. Like I need to not be inside right now. And so like I spent like most of the day outside. Like I found a bench and just like did work from the bench and like got out in the sun. I laid in the grass for a little bit, drank some coffee and took some walks. And so like,
I saw
um,
your Instagram story. That's a cool mug.
thanks.
It
My
looks
mother
like the
got it for
perfect
me.
espresso mug.
The perfect espresso mug.
Yeah, like just maybe it's bigger than it looked, but
I
it
was
looked
gonna
like a
say
little
it's just
guy.
nah, it's a pretty big guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not huge, but it's like it's coffee mug sized.
Oh, okay.
There
I'm
wasn't that
tripping,
much coffee
so
in it,
I'll shut up.
to be fair.
Heard.
Um,
Yeah, I
but
thought it was a little guy.
yeah, yeah. On that, it's just like it's important to notice when you fall into those bad habits and start to break out of it so that you can, you know, live happy and healthy.
Dude, speaking of notice, I think people don't notice how like the things they eat affect their mood and their energy, and even like caffeine. So I decided to have a coffee when I got home from work today, and I had a lesson. I always have a lesson on, well, not always, but very, very commonly I have a lesson on Thursday. Um, and I was like drinking the coffee a little bit beforehand, and I literally noticed the moment. I was like, boom, caffeine hit me. Like, so very, very different state than I was in 30 minutes before. Like, I don't think a lot of people notice that. Like when I hear people say caffeine doesn't do anything for me, scientifically it does. So it's just like
Yeah.
it's just lack of awareness. And what's the point in telling someone who says that? Well, that's lack of awareness. There's not one, but
There's a
uh
happy balance in there. Like, if you can become over aware, like, you can become hyper aware and blame like very small things on things that are probably not accurate. Like, you could, let's say if you're like getting really, really anxious, you can start to blame it on like small things that you ate, or like oh, I had one more coffee more than I normally do and that's probably why I'm anxious, and like that might be the case, but that also, you just being hyper aware of like how your body is reacting to certain things could be the reason you're anxious. You know what I mean? Like you're like
true.
scared, so like hyper scared of like what you're going to put into your body. That being said, there's a lot there are a lot of times where like, I'll fall into like a weird mental slump where I'll feel like down or anxious or whatever. And then I'll just be like, wait, have I eaten? You know, when was the last time
dude.
I like moved? Like,
Yeah,
got up and like went for a walk or like got some sunshine or like lifted some weights or something.
yeah.
And I think there's like a middle ground in there. You know what I mean?
Dude, half the time for me, it's the have you eaten one. Like,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
like, I'll be like, man, I just feel off. Like, I feel like shit. And
Yeah.
then if I tell someone else, most of the time they're like way more aware of the situation than I am. They're like, you should probably eat something. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
right.
yeah, my
Yeah.
body needs food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or like sleep. Sleep is one too, or it's just like, man, like, I've been off all week. Like, why do I feel so like grumpy and like pissed
sleeping like
off? And
doo
it's
doo,
like, well, I've only gotten like, 5 or 6 hours every night and been going to bed late.
bro. That'll do it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. That one can really mess you up, put you in a bad mood,
Yeah,
make you
that happened to
anxious.
me. That definitely happened to me the last indoor season.
Really, getting lack of
Oh my
sleep.
god, just like so little sleep. A lot
Why?
less than I
Just like
wanted.
thinking.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I was definitely anxious, but I was also like, I don't like to say busy, but I was busy. And man, you want to get into it?
Sure.
All right. There are certain things that I have a lot of resistance toward, and those things I always feel like they're very low value things for me to do. So I get stuck in this cycle, in this trap of worrying about that thing that I have to do, you know, some societal, maybe it's for a job, maybe it's for, we don't need to get into specifics, but I'll just say a low value thing that I am required in some way to do.
Yeah.
It has a deadline. So I feel as though, I'm relatively busy without those things. And when I'm not busy, I value not being busy because I think having thoughts that are not, you know, I have to do this next, I have to do that next, I have to do this next. That's where like I find like the next thing I want to do or the next breakthrough. Let's say for the business that we run,
Creativity.
I'm like, oh, that's the thing. I just get to sit and relax and not fill my mind with a commitment. So what will happen in those times is I all I want to do is focus on these like larger term goals that I have and try to meet like find that breakthrough, reach that breakthrough moment, or just simmer on something that's been stressing me out and see if I can like figure out, okay, is this something that I need to be stressed out about? Is there a solution? Is there something I can do very easily that I can incorporate into my day to solve this forever? Instead of doing those things, I sit and I simmer on this thing that I have to do that I feel is very low value. So then I get frustrated because I want to not be doing that. I want to not be thinking about that, but I also don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's such a weird, like, I'm just so stuck. That was happening to me way too often last indoor season. Like, it would
Mm.
be all of the time that I had free time, that exact scenario that I'm playing out would happen. And it's so mentally fatiguing. So once I like get myself out of it, like I go on a walk or I, do something actionable, whether it be toward the thing I don't want to do, that takes a lot of willpower though. And now I'm like drained from that. Anyway,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
experienced that before.
Oh my God, dude. I need to figure out like a way around it.
Yeah.
But do you know the unfortunate thing?
What?
I know the way around it is to not do that thing. That's the way around it is to like, okay, don't put myself in situations where I'm gonna have to do things like that. That's the ideal escape from the rat race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is to
Break
only do
from the
high value things.
repetitive
But
cycle.
like probably, someone that's like higher up, in life or whatever than me, like wiser, would tell me, like if I was telling myself, I would tell myself, well, you're not ready. You're not ready to not do those low value things yet. Like you're not in a position yet where you're able to say no to that.
Maybe.
You're just
I
not
would
there. That's what
certainly
I would
tell
tell myself.
I would certainly tell myself that too. Like if I was, yeah, like a wiser, older version of me, I would tell myself
Yeah.
that.
I would say you're not ready. You have to do those things. You have to suffer through those
But do you, like,
in order to reach the other side.
but do you like that in scenarios like that? I
I don't know.
always, yeah, I don't know either. Like it's a very situationally dependent thing, and like that's when I think about, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, like Tim Ferriss's fear setting thing. Like, what's the worst that could happen if you don't do that thing? You know, is it as catastrophic as your brain wants you to think it is? Because our brain will tell us a story about how the thing that's repetitive and comfortable is um it's safe, like, and straying from that is going to cause like catastrophic damage. But if you actually sit down and write out like all of the things that would happen as a result of you not doing that thing, usually tends to be like not as horrible and also pretty corrective. Like you can correct yourself from any like negative things that happen. Not saying that you know that's the case for your scenario, but it's something I like to think about sometimes. I'm just like, what would happen if I just didn't? I don't know.
Yeah, like to speak on that, not to get too deep on this, but I think we're already there, so let's just go for it. It was like March. I I all right. Dude, I feel like I just want to tell the story. So
Okay.
twice in the month of March, I was so exhausted that I was like, no joke, I felt this close to like I was about to hallucinate. Or like
Really?
I already was. Like auditory, not visual hallucinations, but like I was so fucking tired and stressed and overwhelmed. And one of these times was at Spartanburg.
Mm,
Yeah. So, and
that's
then
crazy.
another one,
I was talking about that with somebody the other day.
yeah. And then another one was like 3 weeks later.
Hmm.
And we were at rehearsal. And I think it was like a Saturday night. It was so crazy. Like I had to leave whatever situation I was in and sleep. That was like the only like I tried to
Solution.
drink a bunch of water, I tried to eat food, I tried to like, walk around and like relax my brain.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing. I was like, oh my God, I had to get out of this situation and like just sleep. And it was
Yeah.
not easy to like fall asleep. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was like brains just like moving without my control.
God
Anyway,
damn.
yeah.
It's
We
interesting.
probably should have talked about that off the podcast,
Yeah.
but whatever.
We're here now. um.
Anyway,
Yeah, we kind of went
I'm
down a
not gonna
rabbit
allow
hole.
that shit to happen again. Is the point?
That's good. That's good. You shouldn't.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't know. You know, it's not worth it.
I'm glad it happened so that you know that.
Me
Though
too.
too.
I don't
You know
I
what I
don't
mean? Like
regret anything at
it's
all.
a learning experience for sure. Because like, we're about to get into that period of being super
Yeah.
busy again. So like it's nice to
Eh,
know that
Yeah.
you
And I'm
have
the
things that
go
you can
ahead.
do.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
Yes. And I have people that I can like explain like this is what's happening again. If it does happen again, I'm like, I need to handle this, you
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
Um yeah, I'm just like the type of person who I'll just like take more on because I have a lot of like self-confidence, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like true self-confidence where I'm not going to say something positive about myself that I don't fully believe. Like I'm not the like false positive affirmations type of person, but I do believe that I can do a lot of things, and I do believe that I can, have a lot of responsibilities and handle those responsibilities very well. But there's still a tipping point and a breaking point, and I guess I just had to find that breaking point, and I'm sure I'll find it again. and
Yeah.
it'll show itself in a different way. But yeah, like I was doing too much, like
Yeah. Burnout.
straight up. Yeah, it was like real fucking burnout that I'd never experienced before. It was super weird.
It's
But it's
interesting.
no one's fault but my own. Like it's
Well,
not the
sure.
situation's
Yeah.
fault I was in. It's just like I'm anyone who is involved in any of these situations that I was in spring. It's absolutely I'm not blaming this shit on anybody at all whatsoever or the
That makes
situations. Fully me. Like
sure.
you know, I just needed to handle it better, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And handle it could mean step away from something completely, which
Yeah.
is
I mean,
possible.
it's important, I think, for everybody to have some kind of experience like that because everybody's threshold for that is different. And
Yeah,
um, understanding how to react to situations like that and understanding where your breaking point is important.
yeah.
Um,
This is another side note. While we're in this, like I think, well, no, I don't think I know that my tendency in the past was to get like when I would start feeling overwhelmed, my tendency was to get frustrated. And that's how I like handled things was with like a lot of intense, like fiery emotion.
mhm.
And like I didn't know that the trigger was being like mildly or more overwhelmed. And then I realized that. So instead of figuring out how to not be as overwhelmed, what I did was I
Was just
figured out
stop
how to, yeah, I
expressing it.
figured out how to not, I don't know if it's not express it, but I would
Or
express it in a different way. I
sure.
would express it through conversation rather than like getting like angry and like mad. So I would express it through like talking about it, but I would like talk for a long time. Or I would express it by like, you know what? I'm gonna go walk around and I whatever I would kind of like talk through like is the outcome that I think is about to happen going to be as bad as I think it's going to be? No, it's not. Fuck this. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't addressing the fact that I was getting overwhelmed. You know,
Hmm.
so that would happen last spring time as well.
Yeah. That
Anyway,
makes sense.
yeah,
You also touched on something before we get off this about the fact that like we've talked about before how important it is to like have a period of the year or a season where you're just booked to the max, just like going from one thing to the next to the next, and you're just like super busy. But I don't think we've ever talked about like what should happen in those, or what we think, I guess, our opinion of what should happen when we're not in that state. And I thought it was interesting of you talking about like, that's your time to like simmer on ideas and come up
yeah,
with breakthroughs. And that's such a good point because those periods of time could be like they're good for relaxation and like enjoying not being in that state of like go go go, but it's also a time where you don't have to think about the next thing, which means you can you know be full of ideas, you can bring
yeah,
something to life, you can plan
yes,
the next time that you're going to be going to the next thing and have that busy part of your year.
yeah. No,
I
I
thought it was
agree with
interesting.
you. And it's also a sorry, I got distracted by text. Fuck. I don't know. Forgot to turn do not disturb on.
Whoops.
All right, that's a good. That's the universe
That's a
telling
good
us to move
break.
forward.
So,
Okay.
how was your week?
You know what? My week was good.
Okay.
We climbed yesterday.
We did climb
I
yesterday.
was tired when we climbed yesterday. I don't even know why I was tired. I was just tired. And then
Yeah.
I got a second wave of energy while we were there. No, my week's been pretty good. I've been worse about prepping food than I wish I was. But that's
Mm.
that's on me. Like I'm less busy than I normally am
Do you
in
normally do
in the
like meal
fall
prep?
time. No, but I'll prep like a day
You'll
of
cook some
food.
vegetable. Oh, okay.
I don't like to do like 2, 3, 4 days.
Okay.
I don't know why. It doesn't feel. I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what that means, but I just don't like to do like 3 or 4 days in a row. Not that I don't like to eat the same food all the time because I do, but I like the idea of like pretty close to fresh food, especially like
Okay.
meats. Like
That makes
I don't
sense. You
really
don't
like
want 4 day old
eating.
meat after it
Yeah,
being cooked or
no,
whatever.
I really don't.
The worst is
So
vegetables. Vegetables like 4
they
days
get
after
really,
sucks. It's gross.
yeah, no, I'm really bad about that. So yeah, I've been
That's
worse
legit.
about prepping my food than I wish I was, but um, yeah. Other than that, good.
Nice. That's what we like to hear.
Um, I feel like something happened this week that I want to tell you about, but I don't know.
School, have anything to do with school? The internet, news,
Probably.
Instagram
Anyway,
reels.
no, no.
All right.
Anyway, well, if you're
Well,
still here at this point after all those rambles, go ahead and subscribe
went
to
down
the
some
YouTube
rabbit
channel.
holes.
All right, I have a crazy announcement to make. All right. It's like what do they call it? Like a humble brag, you know? But it's also like a humble
Okay.
diss,
Oh.
on our own. So
Oh, I
my
see. I
my main
understand.
channel, which is my, just Austin Thompson, if you wanna if check it out on YouTube. Passed the podcast channel in subscribers, and that's unacceptable.
That is
Okay.
unacceptable.
At bare minimum, they need to have the same.
Yes.
I started my channel months after this channel. It's not allowed to pass it. So if you're listening right now and you're not subscribed, you're no longer your best friend until you subscribe. Okay.
Yes.
And
You're
that's
just a
all
viewer.
period.
Yeah, if you're
Anyway,
watching this and you watch Austin's channel and you're subscribed to Austin's channel and not this channel, I take that personally because it means you
yes,
like
you
Austin
should.
more.
Dude, that's not okay. That's my
That's not
boy right
okay.
there
Your best friends. You know what
with
I'm
an
saying?
S.
With an S. It's important.
Speaking of which, we have a no, I'm not gonna
No,
spoil it.
don't.
All right.
No.
Okay.
I know what
Not
you were
spoil
going
it.
to say.
Yeah. It's a funny idea. Also, there's a Patreon with a link in the description, and I'm gonna spruce up the page a little bit, and then it's gonna like kind of say, "Hey, we're Austin and Sean," ba-da-ba-da-ba. And then we're gonna get the pre-show party on there. So, pre-show party
Yes.
is a little segment where Sean and I are just talking about whatever while we do a sound check, and at least half the time we forget that we're recording. So that happened today. We're talking about something, and I was like, "Wait a second, are we recording still?" And he was
Dude,
like,
it was a
"Yup."
17-minute conversation.
Oh my god, yeah. So some spice over there,
Got
some
away
really
from
funny
us.
stuff. So yeah, if you want to be a your best acquaintance or your best buddy old pal or a your best friend, of course. So that is going to be in the pinned comment down there. Pinned comment is going to have the
To the
Patreon link.
Patreon.
All right.
Yes. Also, the lost episode is on there that we have alluded to.
Yes.
It's a good one. Go check it out.
Dude, we were playing Contact 321. You've played that game, right?
I love that game.
Okay, it's so good. Like we got to explain it on this show sometime.
Yes.
Or our next guest, bro. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Do that with our
Yes.
next guest. Show everyone. What got to give credit to Kindle because she taught me that game.
It's
But
amazing.
we were playing Contact 321. If you didn't know the game, it's hard to explain it. So I'm just gonna tell the story and it'll be fine. One of the hints was it was an A word, and one of the hints was your podcast has a lot of them. And I was like, what? A Austin? No, there's only one of them. And then I was like, I was trying to think through all the A words. So they like counted
Assholes.
down. They were like 3, 2. Yeah, they counted down 3, 2, 1, and they said advertisements. And I was like, what? Do we really? So I guess we have. I just we pimp our shit all the time.
That's a
It's like
lot
go to the
for
Patreon, subscribe, get the HomeBiotic link in the description. By the way, get your HomeBiotic link in the description.
That's so funny
The
because I
soil
literally
based.
right before this podcast went to where our affiliate link like profile is, and I applied for another affiliate for
Hell
another company.
yeah.
I'll have to tell you about it
Let's
once we
go.
get approved.
Yes,
But
yeah. Tell me about it once you get approved. So yeah, HomeBiotic. Link in the
that's so
description.
funny.
Speaking of advertisements, so this is the natural probiotic for your home. Very great product. I wouldn't talk about it every single podcast episode if it wasn't something I used in my own house. My own house, okay, keeps me healthy. All right, use it. Keep your home healthy. You keep your gut healthy. Might as well keep your home healthy as well.
And now keep
Anyway,
your body healthy.
Yes, let's go, baby. So let's get into the actual meat of the episode. This has been a long intro.
This has been a long ass intro. I got an article for you.
While you're pulling up that article, I'm going to fact or fib you.
Oh, please hit me with that.
Okay. If I have 500 milliliters of water, that 500 milliliters of water will weigh 500 grams. So I can think of grams and milliliters as the same type deal for water, same quantity. Is that true or is that false? Fact or fib? 500
Fact.
milliliters of water would weigh 500 grams.
That's a fact.
Are you sure?
That's I'm locking in my answer.
He's locked in. Yes, it's a fact.
Yeah, knew it.
Good
You know how
job.
I knew that is
How'd
because
you know?
I got really I, I got really obsessed with brewing coffee and like a lot of different
Oh, there you
yeah, a
go.
lot of different like blogs that teach you like, oh, you should use a scale to, make your coffee. Some people use grams, some people use milliliters, and I like figured out it was consistent across the board.
Yeah,
Um
isn't that crazy?
yeah, and yeah, I thought that was interesting, especially because my scale too has a setting for milliliters, and I was like, that's weird, but it also has a setting for grams, and I was like,
Yeah.
they're the same. I was like, okay,
So
that's
so
interesting.
they're only the same for water, okay?
For
Because water has
water,
a density of
yes,
1 gram
right,
per milliliter. Yeah.
yeah,
So if you have 1 milliliter of space taken up by water, it's gonna weigh 1 gram.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yes.
Anyway, good job. Good
So
job.
I
All
was
right,
pretty
let's see
confident
this
about that. I was
article.
like, something else.
You're
No,
killing
that
it.
wouldn't be the case. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right.
Nice.
So we have
Oh,
pulled up here cloudmusicsuite.com, your home for private music lessons.
wow.
That's
It's
right. Since
beautiful.
1799.
1799.
Yes, come to cloudmusicsuite.com if you are interested in taking private lessons through this platform where you can see our
Amazing
world-class
platform. Bro, I don't
instructors.
have any availability right now. What am I doing?
Now you gotta
I'm
build that up.
tripping.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, that's
Teaches the
me, dog.
marching snare drum. But Ben's got some lessons available. So if you're interested
Yes, he
in
does.
learning about marching technique and fundamentals or the marching snare drum, go check it out. It's a good
Yes.
time. Okay. Petting dogs has an interesting impact on the brain. So this is not, I don't think this is going to be information that's necessarily surprising to either of us. But still, I think it's important. Interacting with animals, but especially with dogs, is known to help people dealing with stress and depression. Because of this phenomenon, researchers from the University of Basel in Switzerland wanted to look at what happens in the brain when we interact with dogs. The research led by Mr. Marty. I don't know how to pronounce that first name.
Nathan
Was
Marty?
uh, our our second no first guest tied for first
First. Tied for
was
tied for best guess ever.
yes, was published in the journal PLOS One. The scientists measured activity in the prefrontal cortex as study participants viewed a dog, sat with dog against their legs, and petted the dog. And the same trial was carried out with stuffed lion holding a water bottle to mimic the weight and temperature of the dog. Let's see, measured the oxygenated, deoxygenated, and total hemoglobin and oxygen saturation of the blood in the frontal lobe frontopolar area with the functional near infrared spectroscopy. This I'm getting like tongue twisted over here.
You're doing great.
Thanks. The present study demonstrates that prefrontal brain activity in healthy subjects increased with a rise in interactional closeness with a dog or a plush animal, but especially in contact with the dog, the activation is stronger. This indicates that interactions with the dog might activate more attentional processes and elicit stronger emotional arousal than comparable non-living stimuli. So
That
I don't
makes
know
a lot of
about you.
sense.
I don't know about you. I mean, that's pretty much it. I know you've had a dog, you have a cat right now. You used to have a cat living with your parents.
Yep.
Um, Animals are great. I mean,
They are, man. They
they're
are.
it's huge. Um,
I
uh,
also think there's a un yes, I agree. I mean, this is anecdotally correct for me, and a lot of people I know, but it's pretty special, like the feeling I get when I hug my dog. Like,
mhm.
my parents had the one poodle and then the poodle they have right now, and I lived with both of them. They're so special, man. Like, just like hugging and letting them sit between your legs, like it's no joke. I'm not surprised that a real living being makes more of an impact than a plush animal. I'm
Yes.
surprised that they were even comparable at all, to be honest. But
Yeah, honestly, same.
so
Um, well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I think a lot of people have. I mean, if you think about like kids, especially, they can get really, really attached to,
Oh, I
plush
mean, I got
animals.
really, really attached to plush. Like when I was really young,
Yeah,
had this
but
like little black and white dog. Freaking love
yeah,
that thing.
and then you also have people who like keep their plush animals from when they were a kid because I don't know, maybe it's
Mm,
nostalgia or maybe it's just like the comfort.
yeah,
So I could understand that aspect of it.
but if it's one you don't have a
If it's
connection
one
to,
you
that's
don't
weird.
have a connection to, that is
That's
weird.
odd that it actually works.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just stumbled upon this, and it's I knew it was not something that was gonna surprise either of us, but yeah,
I
like
am confused or not confused, but the wording is kind of political here. The present study demonstrates that prefrontal brain activity in healthy subjects
mm,
increased. But at the top of the page, it said can help with anxiety or depression. So are we considering a healthy subject someone who isn't dealing with anxiety or depression? Or are
that's
we
a good question.
considering,
What do
you
they
know what I mean?
define as a healthy subject in this
Yeah, I don't know. Like if you have a
scenario?
pre-existing
Maybe
mental
just
condition, are they,
maybe just responsive. uh,
yeah, maybe, I don't
I don't know.
know.
I'm not
That's
sure.
interesting.
That's interesting.
But
I didn't even put that together.
how dare you? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I'm sorry. Real quick before I take this away, let's take a look. Let's rate this website.
Oh, rate the website? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, eh. I was kind of like, I think you were tongue tied because it's hard to read. Like it's like I don't know. It just seems like a bunch of
I don't like the
words dumped
font,
on a
and
page.
it feels like just like data dump
Yeah.
kind of. Doesn't
I don't think
feel
it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
no, but it's not particularly formatted well.
Uh,
I'd give it like a 3,
sure.
you
I'm
know.
with it. It's pretty bad, but it's not terrible.
It's not the
Terrible
worst.
is
We've
like
had worse.
1.5.
Yeah, that what would
Yeah.
deserve a 1 or 1.5 is if like it had a pop-up thing that kept popping up like in the middle of it or something, or
Yeah.
a bunch of
Yeah. It's a
videos
good
trying to chase
point.
me around. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, um, yeah, we have a mutual friend. Well, he was one of the guests.
I thought you were gonna
Devin.
say Patreon. I was like, hell yeah.
We do have a Patreon, but Devin Dwyer, who was our
I think so. Yeah.
third guest, I think, also
Second
tied
or
for
third.
first, tied for the
Tied
best.
for best guest ever,
Um,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, so he has 2 cats where he lives right now. And I remember when we went on our big trip, like across the United States, he was missing that cat. Like people get like a really big connection to their animals. And I remember when
Yeah.
he got home, he was like super happy to see his cat. And I don't know. I think having animals is pretty cool, even if it's something small like a fish.
Oh, bro, I
Because
know what I was gonna say a second ago.
what's up?
I think there's an underrated health benefit that is like having an animal like helps your gut microbiome and your skin microbiome.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah. So I mean it's fact.
Oh,
Yeah. So like you get a stronger and healthier gut and a stronger and healthier like skin microbiome. So yeah, it's real. And then
why?
what? I don't know, because you're sharing bacteria with them.
Oh, hmm, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I never really considered that, but that's a good
Yeah.
point.
It's pretty wild. So yeah.
I like it. Dogs or cats?
You mean like who's better, dogs or cats?
Yeah.
Man, don't do this to me. Um, I have to say dogs.
Have
And
to say
Millie, I hope
dogs.
Millie's not around the podcast.
Yeah,
She's
the
not gonna
podcast's gonna call your
don't
ass
come
out.
attack me. Dogs, it's a first of all, I never thought I'd be a cat dad in my life. We told the story if you never heard the story. But basically Kendall's mother brought a cat home and that was our cat. And I was like, whose cat is that? And Kendall was like, it's our cat. And I was like, no, like, no, I don't want a cat. Like, I don't want that
Such
thing.
a
Like, what is
dude
that doing
thing.
here? Yeah. Anyway, one, two, skip a few. Fucking love that cat. Like, she's such a sweetie. She's very unique. It's not like she's gonna, come when I call her and sit and shake my hand. But I definitely have a very special connection with her and I love her a lot. That said, still a dog guy for sure. I don't know why.
Legit.
Just feel like just like dogs more.
They're very interactive. was talking to somebody the other day who said this, and I think I might agree with it. I'm not sure, but she said she likes cats. She thinks she likes cats more because she thinks that every cat that she meets and has an interaction with, she always likes, but like not that's not the case with every dog. And I kind of feel the same way about that, but I don't know if it's because of the dog. I feel like anytime I have a problem with the dog, it's because the owner is just not a good owner. You know what I mean?
I have not liked every cat I met.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like every time I've met a cat, like probably 9 out of 10 cats, like I have a good interaction with first time. That or the cat is just like skittish and like I never see it. Um,
Yeah. Makes sense.
Whereas like dogs can be like really not well behaved and like can
I've
be
had very
mean
few
and
bad
grouchy.
experiences with dogs, though.
Um, that's interesting.
Maybe I've just met nice dogs. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. My
I do
parents like
love both.
kind of taught me how to approach a dog, and if maybe it has an aggressive side, I'm gonna let it know I'm a friend first, you know. So I think there's like kind of an art to approaching a dog that you've never met before.
That's true.
So maybe that art wasn't taught to certain people, and then they had to kind of like learn the hard way by a dog like yapping at them, you know, or like
Sure.
seeming like it might bite them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. That makes sense though. I mean,
Because I
I
mean,
can't
like
argue with the
dogs are
logic.
more influential, like to training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cats are like, they're usually animals that like they can be nice to you, they can be mean to you, but like there's not a whole lot of training that happens there. They kind of just a lot of times they just kind of do their own thing, and like the training
Yeah.
just comes from the environment and like engaging with the person. Whereas like for a dog, there's like a lot more training involved and a lot
It's
more
true.
interaction between the person and the dog. I feel like.
Dude, also though, like weirdly, cats, they just can get away with like biting the shit out of you and like scratching you and like being assholes. But if a dog's an asshole, people are like, that's a bad dog. Like, get that
Yeah,
dog out of here. Like,
it's
what a
true.
bad dog. Like, he just bit my hand. That's a terrible dog. A cat bites your hand, and people are like, ha ha ha,
Cats are
it's
assholes.
biting my hand. You
Yeah,
know, it's like this, you know, dogs are all supposed to be like all happy and fluffy and go lucky all the time. And if they're not, it's like, ew, what a bad dog. But
yeah.
then cat is being a douchebag, and everyone's like, that's so funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, all its hairs are up on its back. It's being a cat.
Dude, that's such a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Team dog, bro. Team dog. That's all
Team
I'm
dog.
saying.
Team dog. I don't know, man. I'm somewhere in the middle. I very much like
You
both.
can't be
I
dog. No, you can't do that. You got to pick one. Can't be in the middle. Pick one.
I grew up being a dog person because like I to be fair, I've never really owned a cat. Like I lived with a cat, but it wasn't my cat. And she was sweet, but like the dogs I've had in the past have been pretty amazing. Probably I would probably have to choose dog just from that just from that fact. I do very much like cats, though. It's a
No.
close race. Some
Hmm.
days it's cat. It
Hmm.
switches.
Damn, that's crazy.
By day, I'm dog person.
Not even gonna read into that one. By
No,
night, you're what?
cat person. Cat
No,
man.
you not get the joke I'm making. All right, anyway.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. Okay, anyway. Let's do our tier list, okay?
Yeah.
Once again, we're gonna clip this mofo out.
Uh, I'm sorry. I have to.
Yeah, be sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll
Okay.
just fill this dead time. Subscribe, like the video, and go check out my channel.
Nice.
And once Sean has his own channel, we're gonna say that for him too, because he's gonna make his own channel soon. Anyway, here we go.
Yes. So we did a tier list for fruits last week. And what's a tier list of fruits without a tier list of vegetables? So we're
We
going
got
to
some very
rate.
special your best friends ratings today. So our rating system
Yes.
is very your best friendsy.
Yes. So this is a your best friends tier. So we have the S tier, which stands for super good. We have the A tier, which stands for all right. We have the B, as in boy, this is okay. We have the C, which is could do without. The D, don't, just don't. The F tier is fucking horrible. And H, haven't tried this. So that is the your best friends tier
Oh my
list.
god. All
Um,
right, and then we got a bunch
and
of veggie tables.
thank you to Tier Maker for allowing us to have this and providing a list that is a mix of fruits and vegetables,
Yeah,
which
whoops.
we'll address that when we get there.
We will address that. All right.
All right, let's get
Can
into
we?
it right
Yeah,
off the
can we go
bat.
ahead? You
Don't
go
know what
ahead. You
this
got
is.
it. I think that's Chinese cabbage, but I can't say for sure. So we're gonna put it in. Haven't tried.
Nice, good start. Seaweed.
Okay, seaweed is vital for sushi, and I like
I
sushi.
love sushi.
And seaweed has iodine in it, and iodine is an essential nutrient. Okay, so I'm gonna say
I'm going
at
A.
least a B. Yeah,
B.
I'll go with A. I'll go with
Yeah,
A. At
A.
least a B. I'm saying.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll put it
Here's
at
my
A.
thing. If I had to eat it by itself, I would say this is a C maximum. But
Really?
whenever they, like they've been, it's like kind of a trend to put seaweed and like put olive oil and like different seasonings on it. Have you
Mm,
seen those things?
yeah.
Yeah, those are probably A. And then on sushi, definitely an A.
Like
Like
the
you
little like
can't have sushi without this.
seaweed chips like thing, like the
Yeah,
little
that's what I'm talking
snack
about.
seaweed. Yeah, they're all right. Like I don't
Some
love
people are
them.
like, going crazy about them. They love them.
Yeah, they're not. There definitely wouldn't be my snack of choice, but they don't taste bad. If we're
No,
talking
definitely
about
not.
just that, I'd probably put it at a B, B or C. But yeah, I agree. Sushi wraps and like using it as like an ingredient for things, delicious.
I agree.
All right, what do we got here? Mushrooms.
No, I don't like mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms. What do
No,
you? What do you?
F
F. Oh man, can I not bring you
F.
up to a C?
A C?
Yeah, dude, I
Where
love
were you gonna put
mushrooms.
them?
Probably A, B or
No,
A. They're not
really?
great by themselves. I love to
Okay,
cook with
tell me
them
how you want to
though.
eat mushrooms. Tell me how you
I
like to eat mushrooms.
I love mushrooms in eggs and omelets. I love mushrooms in on pizza.
No way,
Yeah,
bro.
dude, for sure. Is this new information to you?
You like them or you eat them?
I like them.
No.
What do you mean? I like them
Okay.
cooked. I don't eat them raw.
You know what? I'm I'm sticking with the F. If you were going with A, let's average at a C.
Sounds good.
This is a sin.
What don't you like about them?
They're not good. They taste like okay, they don't taste good. Hold on. The mushrooms that everyone puts in things are trash. I've had some mushrooms that are cooked that are amazing, but they're like specialty type mushrooms.
Mm,
So it's like,
the ones that make you see
like what
things.
are those? Like, oh God, no.
I'm sorry, joking. Um, what are what?
Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't
Those are
remember.
shiitake, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I don't like those.
Yeah, I like them. To be
All
fair,
right, let's move on from
there's a bunch
mushrooms.
of
You're
different
right.
kinds too.
There are some mushrooms I like. So C is okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with C.
What do we got?
Celery, I think
Celery.
is,
It's all
dude. This is
right.
this is top tier. Like this is maybe not S tier, but it's got to be
Probably B or
at least on
A.
the level of seaweed.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about all the ways this could be prepared or used.
Touche. Yeah, because we did
I
that with
love,
seaweed.
yeah, I
We're
love
not doing it
chicken
by
salad
itself. So
and like chicken salad. It's so, dude, it's so good, so good. We do that every meal.
I like it with hummus too. I don't know if
I
you ever
don't
eat
like
it with hummus.
hummus,
Oh, you
but I
don't?
do like it with like certain like nut butters, like almond butter or cashew
Ooh,
butter or whatever.
yes.
So
I love it
good.
with
Yeah,
almond butter, and that is delicious.
that's like an unmatched delivery system for those things. It's just so refreshing.
It's very good. I agree.
I feel like this is like the watermelon um of vegetables. Celery is like, but I hate watermelon.
I hate watermelon too.
But I think this is the watermelon of vegetables because it's like so
But the
hydrating. It's
difference,
like known for being hydrating.
yeah, the difference is you can't really do a lot with watermelon, and this is just like a crunchy thing.
Ah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
adds volume to salads.
yeah,
It's something that can be, like you said, a delivery system for like nut butters and stuff like that. You
yeah.
can't really do something like that with watermelon. It's like a weird texture. People have grilled watermelon. I know that's a thing, but
Yeah, I'll
uh,
pass on that. Grilled pineapple though, that's
grilled
good, bro.
pineapple. Grilled
Actually,
pineapple's
grilled
good.
peaches too. Woo!
I've never had grilled peaches. That's a new one
Good
for me.
God, so good. Hey, is that a radish right there? Is that what that is?
This, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it's a radish.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say need to try or whatever.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Did you agree? That's
Yeah,
okra right there.
this is okra. I like okra.
Okay, bro.
It's
Fried
not.
okra is like a 10 out of 10 in terms of taste. I know it's like very terrible for you, and I haven't eaten it in a very long time. But
I do like fried okra.
fried
Fried
okra is 10
okra.
out of 10 in terms of a side dish.
Regular okra's okay.
I think regular
I'd put
okra
it
just
as a
like
B.
sauteed is like meh. And then like I've never eaten raw okra in my life.
I've
So
never eaten garlic with it.
it
Okay.
has to be cooked. So
C or B?
I think B. It's
B?
definitely better than mushrooms, dog. Come on.
That's true. But I brought you up
Okay.
2 points.
Broccoli. Oh man.
This
This
is
is hard.
A,
At least.
at least. I'm like tempted to put it at a
If
S.
you if broccoli is prepared well and you put some butter and some salt, just that's it. Just grass-fed butter and salt. Man, it's hard to beat.
You do so much with it though too.
You can. And it like
Ah,
sucks up everything that you like all the sauces that you put on it, you know? So if you put
yeah.
it in stir fry and you do like a stir fry sauce, oh my God, so good.
It's above seaweed and celery. I think we got to put it
You're
at
right.
S.
I think we need to put it at S too. That said, raw broccoli is not it. Like I do not like raw
It's
broccoli whatsoever.
okay.
It's not though. It's not okay.
I
It's
think it's
bad.
I think it's okay. To be fair, if I'm ever given like one of those vegetable dishes, I'm usually avoiding it. So I guess
Yeah, I don't eat raw broccoli. I know some people love it. I
I'll have
just
like
not a
baby
fan.
carrots, party on baby carrots and ranch, but just raw broccoli on that like vegetable dish, nah.
Yeah, no.
Touche.
Dude, hold on. Sidebar. I never knew I liked ranch until like a week ago. Like that like ranch dip, you know, not like ranch, like Hidden
like
Valley
the dress.
Ranch, but like the sour
Okay,
cream with like the ranch like mix in there. Never knew I liked it.
really?
Maybe not a week ago, but I like forgot that I had tried it ever because it always looks gross to me. I'm like, no, dude, that's gross. I would have this in my head like I don't like ranch. That stuff is good.
What did
Like
you have it with?
stupid good. Chips, baby.
Nice ranch and chips and ranch and fries. I get looks for that sometimes. If I like my dipping sauce of choice with fries is ranch.
I
So
would
good.
probably look at you like that. But if it was that sour cream ranch, I love sour cream.
I love
But I
sour
just
cream
never
too.
thought like, okay, sour cream with that little packet stuff in there. I just thought like, no, that ain't it.
Yeah,
But it's good. It's good.
it's good. I know.
All right.
I also love blue cheese, and I know you hate blue cheese.
Yeah, I don't like blue cheese. Kendall really hates blue cheese. There's a
Really
really
hates blue
funny story
cheese.
about that.
I think
While
we
we,
talked about it on the
okay,
podcast.
I don't like tomatoes, but they're legendary for like all the Italian dishes because of tomato sauce. So I gotta give them at least a B. I don't
I
like
like that.
them by themselves. I
I like
used to eat them
them
off the vine, like the little ones.
like your little grape tomatoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're also like you said this off air. Some of these are fruits.
yeah. Tomato's definitely a fruit, so whatever.
We're just gonna go with it.
Avocado is
Um,
also a fruit, but if we're gonna put it in the vegetable category, it's S tier.
S tier for sure. Um,
What are those? Snap peas? I like snap peas. They're not
okay.
like crazy
B.
good. I'd say B. Yeah. Is that kale?
Oh, kale, dude, F
F.
for
F.
sure. I hate
Yeah,
kale.
me too. Eggplant. I'm not a fan.
I'd put it at a D probably.
Okay, that's
Kind of
fine.
it's kind of dull, but I don't. It's not bad. I don't think it's
I don't
bad.
like it. Okay, artichokes. It all depends on how they're cooked, but I think they're a C maximum. They've got
C
a weird taste.
max sounds right. I only like artichoke with like in things like spinach artichoke dip.
It's good.
Delicious, but
Yeah.
artichoke by itself, I'll put it at a C.
Yeah.
Corn
Call.
is corn. It's going viral. Corn is back, baby.
God, yeah, it's
Thanks to
back.
the corn kid.
All right, we're just talking about taste, right?
Yeah,
With butter and salt, it's an A.
yeah, yeah.
It's not a vegetable, it's a grain, but whatever.
That's fine. Asparagus.
Asparagus, A.
A. Yeah, I like that. What is this?
I think that's butter lettuce. Don't
B.
quote me. It could just be like a type, another type of lettuce, but let's just say lettuce.
I like lettuce.
It's not like good though.
No.
I could do without it, so I
How do you
think we
feel
need
about
to
like
just stick to our name.
salads?
I don't love salad.
Okay.
If there's a bunch of meat in it, sure.
Yeah.
Not to be that guy, but
I won't just eat lettuce by itself. That's
no, no, no,
for
no.
sure. I like it on my tacos. I like it in my burrito bowls.
Yeah,
Um,
see,
see. Yeah.
because I could do without it because I do all the time. Rhubarb, I don't think I've eaten it in a long time,
I've never
so I'm
eaten
just gonna
rhubarb.
say haven't tried it.
What is this?
Okay, this next one, that's
Oh, is this
red cabbage.
red cabbage? Yeah.
Yeah, it's purple, but it's red. So
I'd probably put that at a C or a
it's better
B.
than green cabbage. It's better than green cabbage. I'd put it at a B. Like, have
I'd
you ever
say,
had it sauteed? Not raw,
yeah,
but like, yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
I'd do a B for that one. Cauliflower,
I think,
B or
man,
C. I don't love it.
I don't love it either. It's not as good as broccoli, so we can't
That's
put it
for
in S
damn
tier.
sure.
I'd
I
say
don't hate it. I
it's pretty versatile though.
That's true. It's used in a lot. Like you got like those like cauliflower crust pizzas too and stuff. And
Yeah, those are trash though.
yeah, that's true.
B.
Okay.
Are you with that, or are you gonna pull me down to C?
No, I was between a B or a C. I'd put it at a B.
Like, just roasted cauliflower is really good though. But I've had some things with
I don't know if it's
cauliflower in it
really
that
good.
are just like roasted cauliflower, like with like olive oil and some like salt, pepper.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't
And it
love
starts
it.
to get crispy. It's really good.
Yeah, maybe roasted. Have you ever had it roasted?
That's what I meant. Wasn't that
Oh,
what I said?
oh, I thought you said I was I was imagining something else, like sauteed,
Oh,
I think is what.
oh no, 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 no. Roasted.
Yes.
Roasted's definitely A. But if
Roasted
you had to
roasted
take
is good.
cauliflower as a whole, I think it's because I
Yeah.
do not like raw cauliflower at all.
Yeah, I don't think raw cauliflower either.
Okay, pumpkin,
Pumpkin.
man, it's also not a vegetable, but
It's a
I mean,
weird
I'd
one.
say this is A tier.
Really?
Yeah. Are we talking about eating it by itself? Oh, this is so hard. I don't know, man.
I would
When's the
not
last
eat
time I
it by
ate pumpkin by
myself.
itself?
Or by
By
I would not
myself.
eat pumpkin by myself, bro. I'd do it with friends. I would
Pumpkin
not eat it by
puree, right?
itself. Yeah.
I love most things that have pumpkin in them, so I have to give it a high rating, but I really don't think I would eat it by itself.
B?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm like just kind of confused about how to rate it. I don't know.
Yeah. By itself, I don't think
Is
I'd
that sweet potato
uh
or is that like a red potato? Are there sweet potatoes anywhere else? Let's just call it a sweet potato.
that's
S.
fine. S tier. I love sweet potato.
I love sweet potato. I eat it way too often. Is that
Is it?
ginger? I think that's ginger.
Yeah, I think
Ginger by itself, meh. Ground ginger, B.
okay. Yeah, I'm usually thinking of it. I don't think I've ever had it raw, but like in a as an ingredient in something, it's good. Spinach, S.
Wait, I don't think that's ginger, bro. Ginger's down here. What is that?
Whoops. Uh,
I know I've had it, but I think for the purposes of this, I think I have to say I haven't tried because I can't remember what it is right now.
it's some kind of root.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll put it. I
let's just
haven't
say have
tried.
to try. We
Wait,
have tried it, but we just don't. I don't know.
where's ginger?
To the right, beside the onion.
Yes.
Yeah,
What do we say? B.
B. Yeah.
Spinach. I'd put that in S. I love spinach.
No, I can't put it in S. If it's sautéed with like oil, it's great. If it has the stems on it still, it's trash.
Really?
If it's raw, I'm not a fan.
I like it both like sautéed and um raw. To be honest.
You can bring me to a B.
Okay.
I was gonna go with D.
We're gonna go with D.
Yeah.
I love spinach. I'll have spinach in like anything
You were
and
gonna go with
everything.
S?
Yeah, just because I'd
That's
eat it. I'd
crazy.
throw it in eggs. I'd throw it
Well, yeah, I
on a
would
burger. I'd
too,
throw it
but
on a
not
salad. I'd
not
throw it
because
in
I
like
love it.
anything. That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Okay, is this white onion down here? Or is that like a shallot or something?
I think it's a shallot.
Either way, anything that's like of that type, I like it a lot. At
Yeah.
least A.
I'd agree with that. Is that garlic next?
It looks like it. I like garlic a
Eh,
lot too.
I'd put
Yeah,
I'd put it at an A. It's a good
at
ingredient
least
and things.
it's great. Cucumber. I mean,
Eh,
cucumber is pretty good, man. It's not as good as celery,
I'd
but
put it as
it's
C.
good. Dang.
Yeah, I can
It's
meet you in the
worse than
middle.
cauliflower?
I think so.
Really? Is it worse than snap peas? It's not worse than snap peas.
Mm, it's been a while since I've had snap peas.
What were you gonna put it at?
C.
What? You just said you could get let's go to
Wait,
B then.
wait, what?
You were like without me saying anything, you were gonna put it at C?
I said C. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You said you can get me to a C, but I thought you meant like I can get you up to a C.
Oh
Because I was gonna
no,
put it at probably like A.
no. What I meant to say was C. Like I would
Oh,
rate
okay,
it as a
perfect.
C.
Okay, these
I don't
next
love it,
things
but
are chickpeas, I believe. Is that
meh.
true? Yeah, meh. That's so to be clear, that's what hummus is made out of.
Yeah, chickpeas by themselves, but I do like hummus.
I'm not a chickpea guy. I'm not. I don't.
I'll put it as C
I've had
or
hummus.
D
I
actually.
think it's decent, but I haven't had it in years. So yeah, I'd say D. What are those? Radishes?
Radishes.
Wait,
I'd
didn't
put
I say radish earlier? I was tripping. That's a turnip bet, bro. I bet down there.
turnip. Yeah.
No, that one, the one you have your cursor on, that's a radish, right? And then
This,
the one that I put in the haven't tried, that's a turnip, right? Right
this. I
there.
think
I
it's the
think
other way
so. I don't
around.
know. No, bro. The red one's the radish.
Okay,
Someone who knows way more than us is gonna be laughing real hard.
probably.
Um,
Whatever the
anyway,
red one is, I've had, and it's all right. I'd put it
it's
at a
all
D.
right. It's normally used as a garnish, from what I understand. It's
Yeah,
not. I don't love it. Yeah, D. Well, no, I think C because I could do without it, but I don't like hate it.
I'd put it as C.
What's that next thing? Can you zoom in?
Potatoes.
Is that what those are? I like potatoes. A. If that's potatoes, they get an A.
Yeah, I think those are potatoes. I have no idea what the next thing is, but potatoes. A.
Let's just put haven't tried.
Carrots. B. I'd put it at a B. I do like them, but
I think they're A.
I think they're A. You could bring me
They're as
up to
good
an
as
A.
celery. They're as good
Whenever,
as celery.
yeah, yeah, on the same level as celery sounds right to me. Red
I love red
onions.
onion. I love
I'd
red
put
onion.
that at an S probably.
I think so too. And
Nice.
this next one's controversial. Brussels sprouts or
Oh,
S? You just
I
have to know how to cook them.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Have to know how to cook them, but
My
they're
dad
S.
hates Brussels sprouts.
Dude, they're so good.
I like Brussels sprouts. Um, yeah, I agree. S tier.
Are those green beans?
Green beans.
Mid C.
Yeah. We agree on too much.
White asparagus. I don't know. I've never
I've
had
never
it.
had that.
Yeah. Dude, that looks like pig noses. I don't know what this next one is, but it looks like pig
This
noses.
this looks like a different kind of mushroom.
Zoom in. Is that shiitake? Or what's it called? Portobello? Is that portobello? Yeah, it's another type of mushroom.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
where do we put mushrooms? C. I put that
That's
at,
fine.
at a
We can just put it
C.
in C as well. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh man,
What
maybe
in the
zoom out
world?
again.
Yeah. See
This
that.
thing's tripping.
Cool. I don't know what this is.
I don't want to tell you to zoom in again, and I don't know what it is either. So let's just say I don't know and haven't tried.
And I
Are those
also
red
know
red beans or
like
whatever?
kidney beans or something.
Yeah, F. Do you disagree?
I don't hate them that bad. I'm
I
trying to
do.
decide if I'd put them
I
at an F
do.
or a D, but I wouldn't eat them by themselves.
You know what? You have full control F or D. I don't care what you do, but I would say F.
uh, yeah, I'll put them in an F. Especially like by themselves. I'm not a fan. What is
What
this?
is that? I don't know. Let's just put in. Haven't tried. No
Yep.
idea.
Bell peppers.
Meh.
I like them. Um,
I like them, but I don't love them.
I put them at like a B.
Yeah, I think a B is accurate.
I don't know what
Beets? No.
beets.
No,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of beets either.
not a
F.
beets guy. I think I would say don't. I don't know. Because like beet
It's been a
juice is
while
used in
since
a
I've had
lot
a
of
beet.
things. Yeah, me too. But beet juice is used in a lot of shit.
That's true.
And pickled beets are not like trash. But don't is accurate, I think.
Yeah.
Spicy peppers.
I'm
Man.
a fan. A.
Uh what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Can I get you to a
Here's the
beet?
deal. If they weren't hot, I do mildly enjoy the flavor, but not like it's not worth the heat. So I would have to say C
Mm.
or D,
Mm.
but if we can
I'll
average,
bring
or
you.
you
You
can
can
try
bring
to
me down to a
convince me.
C because I got you up to a C with the mushrooms.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Dude, mushrooms should be an F for sure. So, you know
I
what?
definitely bring spice, but I also love spicy things, so
Yeah, I don't. I'm
I'm a
just,
fan.
a little baby back bitch. So, this next one's
uh,
bok choy. I like bok choy a lot.
I don't think I don't know if I've had bok choy.
So I'll just take it and put A.
Okay.
I really like bok choy. I enjoy it a lot. That looks squash, yellow and green. Or like zucchini and crookneck or whatever. I think they're
Eh.
good. I think they're B or
B or
A.
C. Okay. B then.
Yeah, let's go with B.
Yeah. What is
I
this?
think I think that's lentils, but I don't know.
Also meh.
Yeah,
C
meh.
or
I
D?
mean D.
D.
This is next one's butternut squash. I like it a lot. It's not as good as sweet potato, so I'm either gonna have to say A or B.
I'd go with a B. I'd probably go lower, but
Let's go with B.
yeah,
They're better than zucchini squash and crookneck squash.
I would agree with that.
What's his next thing?
I don't know.
Looks like an apple with a thing growing out of it. Let's just say I haven't tried, even though we might have, but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah,
This is leek. Leek is at least an A.
dude, I had like I cooked with leek for like the first time the other day. I'm a fan. I'd put it
So
in an A.
good.
It's good.
It's
It's
gotta
good
be
in
an
like
A.
ramen and stuff too.
It's really good.
I'm a fan. Green onions.
I like green
I
onions a
like
lot.
them. I'd put them in an
Yeah, me too.
A.
I think those are like broccoli sprouts or like mung bean sprouts or just sprouts in general.
I'd put
The
them at
taste of
a
sprouts is not great.
I'd put them at a C or a B.
Yeah, it's a C.
I like them as like an ingredient in things, but like
Yeah,
just like eat it. It doesn't. It. I'm not a big fan of just eating
by
sprouts
themselves.
straight by themselves.
Yeah. Okay,
What
I
is
think
this?
that's either taro or cassava, but I don't know. I could be wrong completely. I don't eat this by itself. So I really don't have. I honestly think
I'd probably
I
put it as
know
I
so
haven't
little
tried.
about it that I
Yeah,
think haven't tried. Like I've had cassava flour, I've
yeah.
had taro flour, but I haven't actually had that root.
I know I haven't. So yeah, I'd put it
So
in
you
that.
haven't tried.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's your best friend's vegetable tier list.
Wow. All right. So in the S, also known as super good, broccoli, avocado, sweet potato, red onion, Brussels
Brussels
sprouts.
sprouts.
That is a quite the gang of five, if
That
you
is
know what
a
I'm
yeah.
saying.
That's an S tier for sure. Top
Man,
five.
that's great.
Um.
All right. You want to do the all right tier, Sean?
Yeah, we got seaweed, celery, corn, asparagus. What did we say this was? I can't remember.
Shallot?
Shallot. Yeah, I think that's right. And garlic, potatoes, carrots, bok choy, leek, and green onions.
That's a good A too.
That's a good A.
And then B, boy, this is okay. Okra, tomatoes, snap peas, red cabbage, cauliflower, pumpkin, ginger, spinach, concombre, bell pepper, butternut squash, and pretty much all other squashes.
Yes.
Nice. And then
Uh,
C, D, and F. The only things that got an F were kale and what is that?
kidney
Red
beans.
beans, kidney beans. Oh, okay. Red
Yeah.
beans. Yeah,
Yeah, kale sucks.
yeah. Kale sucks.
I never understood when that became a trend. I don't think it
Yeah.
tastes good. I don't think it's like that good
Also
for
gives
you at
you
all.
yeah, no,
It's a
I don't think it's good for you
nightshade.
either. That's what I was about to say. It gives you kidney stones. There's oxalates in there.
It's
Anyway,
true.
like a lot of them.
Yeah, not good. Not good stuff.
Okay. Nice. That was a good tier list.
That was a good tier list.
That
Here
was
for it.
that's the companion to last week's tier list. So if
Yes,
you haven't
that's the
seen
part
last week's
two.
episode and you're still here right now, you need to go watch last week's episode. Okay.
Yes,
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah, that's how I feel.
And like it. And
Yeah, I
tell us
like
if
it.
you agree in the comments
Yeah.
below. What's your
We got a
favorite vegetable?
couple we got a couple comments on the last one that said mango deserved S tier.
No.
Yes, bro.
Nah.
So, I agreed. And then there was another, there was another comment. Let me just pull it up here. Ask me a question
Want me
while
to
I
ask you a
stall.
question? What's your favorite color?
I would love. I don't really have one, man.
You were about to
You
answer
know,
a
my
question
favorite color
that I
to
didn't ask.
wear is probably gray.
Mm.
My favorite color. The other comment we had was Gavin Murphy, who
Oh, that's
Sean was
right.
featured on his album they just dropped, and it's a good album. I like it a lot. So I hadn't listened to it until after this most recent episode. I listened to it. I like it. There were some songs that were like a little far on the like electronic side of things for my personal taste, but there were also some bangers. So if you like electronic music, I seriously doubt you won't like it. So
It's a good
anything
one.
that's
It's very vibey.
yeah, it is. I like it a lot. So yeah,
Check it
he
out.
said thanks for the shout out. So you're very welcome. And there's another shout out.
There you go.
Heck yeah. Nice. Oh, and Susan Fitch, thank you so much for the hate comment on the Danger Coffee review
Yes.
episode for
Thank
saying
you.
stop
Appreciate
smacking
it.
so gross. If you could do that more often, it would be appreciated. I really liked the hate comment. Thank you so much.
Yes. I think we
Yes,
actually liked the hate comment.
I
Did we
hope
not?
so.
I
If
hope
not,
so. Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
should.
do it. Let me just double check that I did.
Excellent. Yeah. Pin it even.
That's a good idea. Pinned. It's pinned.
And amazing.
Pinned.
Nice. Pin this
All
comment.
right. Pin it. It's pinned.
Sick.
You got a thought of the week, or you want to wrap this thing?
I do have a thought of the week. And it's that you should get HomeBiotic. No, I was thinking about it earlier today. How I think valuing self-sufficiency is a really good thing. And like in the grand scheme of like, well, let me explain. I was thinking about like the coronavirus and how like the world shutting down affected a lot of people. And I was just thinking about how like I'm living in an apartment right now. And I was thinking about how I would not want to be living in an apartment or in a city when something like that went down. You know what I mean? Because when you're living in an apartment or in a city, you rely on everyone for everything. I mean, you're relying on parking, you're relying on public transportation, you're relying on your landlord, you're relying on the grocery store down the street. You're relying on literally everything, everybody for everything. And when shit hits the fan, that could be really scary because, the landlord could just evict you. You could suddenly not have enough money to pay the landlord, might not have money to go to the grocery store. The grocery store could shut down. Uh your car could get towed. Literally, like a bunch of things could go south, and it could be not your fault. It could be just because you rely on a bunch of sources. And I don't think it's bad to get things from people. I think having a good connection and like source of friends where you can exchange things and or go to a local like, market or something like that to buy food. I think those are good things and supporting people in that way. But having skills like learning to build things, learning to garden, learning to hunt, owning property, I think these are all things that get undervalued as like society progresses and people want to live more in concentrated areas.
Makes
Um,
sense.
and it makes
And like,
me like, I don't know. We were talking about awareness earlier. I'm like very aware of like I don't want to fall down that rabbit hole. Like I want to make sure I push myself to like learn those things. I want to learn to garden. I want to learn to grow vegetables. I would like to learn to hunt someday, so stuff like that. So anyway, didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just listening. I like that thought.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't want to add anything to it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about
It's a
this
good
year.
one. I mean, yeah. I will add one thing.
Okay.
I was trying to just let it sit, but I couldn't. A lot of young people that I talk to seem as though they don't want to own property. It's very weird.
Well, we've talked about like when I was younger, like I think we talked about this on the last episode. When I was younger, I
Yeah.
wanted to like go about like a lot of places and stuff like that and had these big dreams of what I wanted to live in, like places I wanted to live. I always wanted to live in like San Francisco. Like that's where my brother lives right now. I always wanted to live in a big city. I always loved the idea of like I can walk to the coffee shop. I can walk to the gym, like things are close. Like there's a lot of people. Like, you're in like a bustling area. It didn't start to like realize like I didn't start to realize how problematic that was until I mean, it really didn't hit me until like 2020 when I was like, "Oh my god, like people that have zero ownership, like it's showing, you know what I mean? Because everything's going wrong."
Man, that's such a good point. Just when you said people that have zero ownership, that's the thing.
Like property is the basic thing that like a lot of people have, and like, some people think, it's better to rent some for whatever reason, like financial reasons or like climate reasons or whatever it may be. But like that's like the more basic thing of like if things go south, like you own that. Like there's ownership there, and you will have a yard where you can garden, and there's so many possibilities, um, to where like you could be self sufficient in that regard. Um,
Yeah, I don't agree that renting is superior to owning.
no,
And I don't think it's close, to be honest. It can and probably should and is going to be a part of most people's lives, but I don't think it should be glorified the way that some people try to glorify it. And I'm surprised that it's split as well, like as evenly as it's split. But dude, when I hear an argument like I'm not trying to go down this rabbit hole, but I'm gonna just say this. When I hear the argument of like I don't want a loan because I don't want to pay interest on a loan, and that's why they rent, and they use that as a reason. That is the worst argument I have ever heard for why you should rent ever, ever. Here's why. What does the landlord do? The landlord most likely has a loan on that property. The landlord is charging you more money than it costs them to service that debt on a monthly basis. So you, as the renter, are paying the interest that the landlord has on the loan effectively by paying them money to live there. And you're paying interest to the landlord for the service that they're providing for you for basically providing housing and fixing things. So you're paying double interest. You're not just paying one interest rate on a mortgage, you're also paying extra fee on top of that so they can net something so that whenever you say, oh, well, when my washing machine breaks, I just have to call somebody and they come fix it. Yeah, you know why that happens? Because you're paying for it over the course of a very long period of time, all the way until that happens.
and it's all for like it's not working towards anything either.
No,
That's the worst
it's
thing.
not.
Like
That is the worst thing.
if you want to compare it, like you're not like if you're paying off a loan, like you're working towards the ownership of that thing.
Yeah. And like, did you know that over COVID, you could take mortgage forbearance and
What?
have your mortgage payments completely paused and put at 0% interest?
Dude, that's
And those
crazy.
12 months that you could take would just get moved to the back half of your loan. So people who have, you know, I personally know people who have $2,000+ mortgages, and that's not like out of this world crazy high. To save an extra $2,000 a month, there were people who took that forbearance who did not need it, bro.
And now
Did
they're paying
not
like
need it.
4,000
No, no, no.
on
They're
top.
not paying 4,000. No, no. They took their forbearance. They took their forbearance, and now it's just moved to the back half of the loan. So when the
Mm,
payments resumed, they resumed like normal. So they literally were able to save $2,000, you know, whatever their mortgage is. Let's just say $2,000 every single month in and month out. That's $24,000 they could save. They could do whatever they want with that. They could invest that. They could
yeah,
go put that as a down payment on an
on
investment
another
property.
property.
That's what I'm saying. Like
God
it's just like
damn.
when you said ownership earlier, and that's what got me thinking on this whole train of thought. Having ownership is the most important thing. Owning assets is the most important thing for like what your life is going to look like in the future. And I think the more you can increase your ownership in times where there's like fortune, we'll just say, to be made, and that can be personally for you. Hey, I got a bonus. That's fortune for you. You know, I got a $5,000 bonus. What am I going to do with this money? Am I going to go put a down payment on a new car? Fuck no. Don't go put a down payment on a new car. Go put that 5,000 and buy assets with that. Me
Yeah,
personally, I like to buy stocks. I
yeah.
like it's very fun to me. I like buying stocks. I own property as well, but you have to be an owner, dude. You have to be an owner in order to benefit from any type of tax benefit. You know, what tax benefit does a renter get?
They don't.
They don't. I don't know. Gotta have ownership. It's so
I
undervalued.
agree, but even like on that, like there's like the ownership in that regard, and then there's like owner like skills.
You're
You know
right.
what I mean?
You're right.
Like if you're renting your entire life, what are the odds that you're gonna know how to fix a washing machine when it breaks? Probably not. You're just gonna call the
Zero.
guy. You if you own the place, you're more likely to spend that time to learn that thing. If you have a big garage where you can have tools and stuff, you can build yourself a coffee table and new furniture rather than having to, furnish it by buying from other people. I'm not saying that buying from other people is bad or, exchanging currency for somebody else's services and recognizing their expertise in a thing. I think those are good things. It's just that it's valuable to know those things when shit hits the fan.
Because then you have more choices.
You have more
And more
choices.
choices is more power.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, those are some good thoughts.
Yeah.
It's
Thinking
super
about
late.
that.
I'm really hungry.
It is pretty late. Dang. Time flew. All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
Another good episode in
Oh
the
wait, do
books.
you have a thought of the week?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
that we got out all my thoughts, you know.
Gotcha.
I think my
Yeah.
thought of the week was about like the very first thing I talked about, which was
Oh, okay. Just
probably
being
like
tired.
maybe overly sharing a little bit on the
Ah,
first bit of this episode, but yeah, whatever.
we're here. All
Hopefully
right.
someone learns something from it and gets some value out of it. So
For sure.
yeah.
All right. Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, man. It's been your best friends. It's Austin and
Sean,
love you
we love you.
guys.